Okay, well, guess we're alive. And what I'm going to do today, my name is Desiree, and this is the very first live I have done on YouTube. So I'm just going to go for it. This particular transfer came from a company called Couture, and I just found them a couple of weeks ago, and it just makes things so simple, so very simple. And I've put inside the comments just a little link to the Facebook page that I have. If you want more information, you can obviously go there and just click on the message, and I can add you into a VIP group, and you can find out more. There are more videos that I have there on that page. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. I've used this transfer a couple times before. You can see a little staining here. It's not a big deal because these are reusable. So they are easy to reuse. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out of its protective sleeve. Some people, I've just been storing them in these. Some people are storing them in plastic sheets, all kinds of stuff, hanging them up. So let me take this on the back. When you get the transfer, they have a sticky side, and obviously that sticky side is on the other side of this. And they have a backing. Now the backing has, and I've written on the back so I remember what side is the back. Some people just go ahead and remember what side is the back because they know the difference. So when you peel it back, this other side is kind of shiny, and I don't know, you probably can't see it here. You get a little shine. It's not showing up, but it does. It is a little bit shiny there. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel this right off of here. I've seen others, they recommend peeling it off, this piece off, so you don't stretch the transfer. I'll just set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. This particular board, I got this at Home Depot. It's just really cut up pieces of chalkboard they have by the MDF boards. And I'm going to lay this down. I've been using these to practice with as I'm learning. Not that it matters how many you have, because it isn't permanent. You can wipe it off with a damp cloth. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth this down. I like to go from the center outward, especially on these transfers that I've used a few times. It helps eliminate any bubbling right next to the letters. Now you're going to see, you can see through here, and this is a silkscreen transfer, so inside these letters it's not just a space, it actually has a fabric mesh, and that fabric mesh, what that does is that keeps these pastes, these chalk pastes, set up and within the lines. So when you peel it back, it's still sitting there. Okay, so I'm gonna get, I need to get my paper towels ready, because with what I'm gonna do right now, which is, they call it an ombre effect. Those of you who have worked with graphic design would just say, oh yeah, that's a gradient. But you know, real life crafting, especially with the hair thing, they like to call it an ombre effect. And I just go, okay, well, whatever floats your boat. So I'm just dampening these up. I have a bunch of them here, and I don't want to get them all messed up. And what this is going to do is keep the chalk paste from drying out as I'm applying it. I just like to have them ready. Get them ready so that I can put them over the top as I'm working. When I first started this, I was having some issues. I couldn't keep it wet enough, and it kept drying. And when the chalk paste dries too fast, it sits inside the mesh and pulls up off your surface. So by putting a damp cloth, especially on these ombre effects, over it, you'll prevent it from, you know, pulling up. All right, so I got all my little wet paper towels here ready. I probably won't need all of those. And I have some little stir sticks. Couture just came out with some new a new tool, rather than buying these little plastic stir sticks on, I think they got them, I got these on Amazon, but you can get an actual tool, and it does more than just stir. So I'm going to take my paste and open it, and I've used these obviously a few times, more than a few times, so pardon it because I've been using it. You stir it up and it should come out like a custard, cottage cheese, well, not cottage cheese, more like Greek yogurt looking thing. Oops, scoop that back in there. I'm just going to stir them up. I'll do each one separately and get them set up. This one's a brand new one that I just got. It's like, I think this is called kiwi. Maybe not. I just like it because it looks like a lime green. Didn't read the bottom. It is obviously dried up on the sides. So I'm just going to go ahead and stir that up nice and good. And a little goes a long way. These go a very long way. It's amazing how much usage you can get out of these. So put that over there on the side. And I have this really nice, pretty Thai teal. Just, oh, splurted that down there. I guess I'm going to put the yellow down there because I've already started there. So anyways, this is a Thai teal. This is one of the older containers because it has that little lid. They have redesigned these lids so that they don't need to have that. So I'll just get this in here and stir it up. That's such a pretty color. Let me just peel that off there. All right, so I've got my paste ready, and I'm going to use these little squeegees. These are they call them squeegees, and it's basically, it has a wedge cut on the edge, and what that'll do is that you can use that to just squeegee, just like a regular squeegee, right on. So I've already got yellow down here. I'm going to start from the top instead of starting from the bottom and going up. I'm going to start from the top and come down. And because I've already put the yellow here, and I'm planning the colors, this one, and then this one, I'll put this teal at the top. So I'm just going to smooth that on there. Just like that. And I'm not going to cover into here because I'm going to put that green color. I'm going to take the extra off, and not too much, and leave that there. And now, to protect that from drying out, I'm just going to go ahead and plop this down over the top of that. And you know, I've got these bottoms of these letters, they're not covered, but that's okay because I'm going to come back and smoosh that together with this green color that I have. So this color is going here. pull this over. They do recommend that you work a little fast. I'm not very fast. And that's probably why I initially was having issues, because I wasn't working very fast. I was being a little bit too precise with it. I think that was my biggest issue, being too precise. So I'm going to go ahead, smoosh this over here. Oops, I got it on the side, but that's okay because I can wipe that off. That's not that hard to wipe off. And you know, if you mess up, it's not that big a deal. You can always go ahead and just change it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just put just enough that it'll come down. Now, you can see it's already getting a little dry. So I'm gonna put that aside and put one of these wet towels on it, just to kind of keep it from getting too dry. So you'll see it's helping it keep it from drying out. All right, and my last one, let's hope everything goes well with this, is the yellow. Don't quite need too much on there because I've only got one word. And considering I got plenty, let's push that down. All right, put that in there. I'm just trying to be careful not to mix the colors too closely when I start. And I may need some more of that, so I'm just going to dip my finger in here. I can see where it's drying out there, so I might need to. Then we'll put this here like this. So that might need a little bit extra up at the top with the teal, because I think I let it dry a little bit too much. So I'm just going to be safe here and go ahead and put some extra there, because I don't want it to be dried out. Okay, cross your fingers. This may work, this may not, because I'm pretty sure that was a little dry on the top. Yeah, it was a little dry on the top, but, and in the middle. So I need to practice one more time, and that's not hard to do because I can wash this off. Over here I have a little vat of water. I'm going to let that soak. And I am going to come back with just a regular wet wipe, and watch this, because this makes it so much easier. If you mess up, you can wipe it off. Don't quite get it right, you can always wipe it off. So I'm going to wipe that off, and I will with the towel, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this right here, and I have a little toothbrush. I like to use a little toothbrush. Some people don't. This just helps me get this off, this transfer, because I can use this. That is such a neat thing. It makes it so easy. So just by washing this off, I don't have a sink here in this room because this room doubles as my computer room, craft room. I have a sewing machine over there because I do like to sew. Plus the closet in here is full of yarn from all of my crochet work that I have done. I have pretty much taught myself how to crochet. Let's go ahead, let's see if I got most of this off. here and scrubbing it down. I think that's probably going to be good. And I'm going to come out. I'm going to lay this down here. It's all soaking wet still. I'll use one of these wet wipes, like this, to clean this off. You guys are getting the whole 9 yards here. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this right off. And wipe that off. Turn it upside down. And clean this off. You'll have to pardon some of the hair in here. I have a cat. So, cat and a dog. The dog doesn't really shed. She's a small terrier. But the cat, yeah, the cat is a little bit more hairy. Let's just put it that way. Cat is very hairy. So, with this, all I'm going to do is lay it over here on this towel with the sticky side up. So I'm going to put the sticky side up over here and leave it. So, I'll bring my board back. It's got some chalk residue. So some people use the magic eraser thing. I found these were pretty cheap, but Couture, again, they are coming out with their own tool, a little scrub pad specifically for this. I have yet to get it, so I'm going to be getting it soon. But that just pulls up the last bit of that chalk that's sitting there. And let's see if I've gotten this dry enough. That one's still a little wet. And I didn't pull out my heat gun to kind of dry it off. So it's still damp. Let's see. It's getting sticky on one side, but the other side is not. We could go back, but I already did that one. I have another one there that I'm not really wanting to do it again because I already have a board, which I can show you. This other board that I did earlier, is that not just awesome? I was so excited that I was able to do this. And it just, I mean, you think about it, and these kinds of things take, people do these kinds of things, and it takes them a long time, and they do all this painting stuff. And I did this in less than 15 minutes. So 15 minutes for this one. So we'll see how I can do, how will I do with this other one. Let's go one, and I think it's almost dry. I'm not doing, there's one other step, and I'm not doing that with these because I've used these transfers before, but some people, when you first get them, they recommend that you fuzz them with on a towel or on your shirt. And I'm looking here and I'm going, oh yeah, I just noticed that my fingernails, the paint job on those fingernails was done by my 4-year-old granddaughter. So be kind, you know, just be kind. I know it's probably, some of you will probably be a little bit unnerved by that, but it isn't. We'll see, let's see. I'm hoping, well, it's not quite dry on the one side. I want this to dry off. I should have got the heat gun out, but I don't want to heat these up too much. So I'm going to come over here. Hopefully this is going to get dry real quick. And I'm going to call it good. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm putting this back down on here. Again, I'm going to smooth it out from the center. I'm trying to make sure that around these letters that there's no little bubbles. The better you have an adherence to the edges, the clearer the letters come out. There's a little bubble right there. I'll rub this down, rub that down. And let's see. Let's see if I can get this down with the squeegee. Some people do that. I'm not sure that that helps. I know some of this is probably because some of it's still damp, but you know, this is how I roll. I don't want to make everybody wait. Let's try it again. So, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try to be a little bit faster this time around, getting these wet towels on top, and hopefully it doesn't dry so fast. And let me real quick wipe this off. Wipe this off. I don't want to wipe it over the top of everything. Wipe these off so that they're nice and clean to start this next attempt. So this is attempt number 2, and I'm at 22 minutes. Hopefully I don't go for an hour on this. I'm sure everybody would be not excited for that. But we'll see. Again, I'm trying to be quick about this because the important thing with these pastes is to be quick. Now, as I understand it, I talked to my upline, and you guys probably can hear my dog right now playing with the cat, and the cat is bigger than the dog. But anyways, they were saying that the pastes are going to be more like the inks, because the company does sell an ink that you can heat set and it can be permanent. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Oops. Trying to be quick about this. And, you know, one of the uplines, her very young little girl even does these very quickly. It's kind of amazing to watch her. And then I sit there and I go, why am I having such a hard time? Probably because I'm being too much of a perfectionist and too stingy with the paste. So I'm going to real quickly cover that up. And then grab my green, which it's pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and cover these letters with the green. I'm putting it on a little bit thick. It doesn't necessarily need to be this thick. I'm going to bring this down over these others. Right down over. And I know I'm kind of going pretty thick. I'm going to squeegee off the excess and put it right back in here in that jar, and put on that damp towel to try to get that covered. And we're going to go back over here. And, oh no, I got a hair in there. Apparently, oh Oh, that would be mine too. Ooh. I'm shedding. That's what I'm doing. Shedding. And let's go ahead and see if I can't. I'll put this over this so it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to go back in here and just rub this in. See if I can't blend it in circular motions. And then I'll come up here in between these and blend, 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 blend. And let's try this again. Hopefully, hopefully that. Let's cross our fingers. It didn't dry. Oh, it's drying. Going to go ahead and put some more on there. And maybe squirt that with a little bit of water. Hopefully reactivate that. I'm not going to pull, I'm not going to put that back in the chalk paste. So let's see. Let's cross our fingers. That definitely helped. Just pulling it up nice and easy. Look, that's looking pretty good. Nice and easy. That's a little icky right there. So, yeah, it's drying out over here. Just squeegee that on there lightly. Hopefully that activates that paste again. I'm hoping it gets activated. Oh. That part didn't come out. So put some more back over it, reactivate it. And let's try it again. Up it goes. It's a little too much, too wet, I think. But I can fix that. Uh-oh, the enough part dried out. I'm not being fast enough, that's the problem. That is my problem, I'm not being fast enough again. So, let's go ahead and re-squeegee that. And hopefully that takes care of that. Well, it's okay. I think I can clean that up maybe with a Q-tip. Because it's a hot mess here, as one of the other designers would put it. Let's see. I have a lot of cleaning up to do with the Q-tip. Because I got too much water there. That's my problem. Too much water, not enough water. And I can take this, let's wipe this stuff off. And let's go back in here. Oops. Yeah, I'm making the problem worse. I'm making the problem worse. Might have to do this part over again. I might have to do it over again. But that's the beauty of this. You can do it over again as many times as you need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can't. And here comes the dog. Again. With the cat. Yeah, it's looking. This might not be salvageable. So much for being easy, huh? No, it actually is. Once you get in a rhythm and you get it down and you figure out what works, it's actually pretty fast. The other one was very, very fast once I figured out that technique for that one. Go ahead and scrub it down. I'm looking forward to that tool because they were talking about a chip tool almost in, where they could just chip in and chisel. It is hard, almost like an eraser, I would imagine. This isn't working very well. So, let's see. It doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna have to go back through here and clean these areas up best I can. But again, this is just a practice board, so it's not that big a deal and it's not going to anybody. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and right in here with that. Right in there with that. I put too much water in there. But, you know, it's looking pretty good. And it's not that hard to do. And if I'm not happy, I can always wipe it off like it did the first time. So, again, it's not that difficult to do this kind of thing. Again, you can go on to Facebook, onto the Easy Crafters Facebook page, and message for more information, or to be added to a VIP group where I've got some specials and things just for my VIP customers, and check it out. I've got other videos that I'm posting there, things to do with it. So go ahead and check it out. What have you got to lose? All right. Have a good night.